Hello, my name is Laura Hall. I am a partner at Wise Partners. Wise Partners is a small, female-owned consulting and research firm that focuses primarily in the retail consumer goods space.
Soraya Alexander. I am the Chief Operating Officer at GoFundMe. I'm also the president of Classy, which is a subsidiary company to GoFundMe that builds fundraising software for nonprofits. We try to help people help each other by raising lots and lots of money for good.
Capitalism, to me, is just basically a simple way to describe it is it's a way of doing business. It's a way to buy and sell goods and services. Capitalism is a system that we use when we want to engage in business of pretty much any kind.
Untethered capitalism, or structures that support capitalism and profit above all else, lack the required constraints and bounds that contemplate all stakeholders in a given system. And so the fundamental shortcoming of capitalism right now is that it's putting profits, immediate profits, short-term profits above environmental considerations, social considerations, care for employees, community members, the world in which we live. And it is overcomable, but requires quite a big shift from current structures.
Conscious capitalism is a movement and a philosophy that basically believes that it's possible for business to elevate humanity and the planet, and that it's possible for business to do good as well as do well. I am quite agnostic in terms of what you want to call this new, sort of new kind of capitalism and the way to look at it. You can call it conscious capitalism or stakeholder capitalism, because stakeholders are definitely involved in how we build this model. But you could also call it triple bottom line capitalism, which means profit, people, planet. You can call it caring. I am name agnostic, but I believe it's time for us to all get together to move forward this new kind of caring, conscious, stakeholder, triple bottom line capitalism that cares about people and the planet. Conscious capitalism as a movement has, under the umbrella of elevating humanity and the planet through business, there are four kind of foundational tenets. And the first one, and I like what Soraya said when you ask her about mission-driven businesses, because for me in conscious capitalism, that mission-driven is purpose-driven. So the first tenet of conscious capitalism is a higher purpose. We believe that businesses should exist for another reason than just making a profit. So that higher purpose is really important. The next thing is leadership. We believe that conscious leadership is critical because you cannot have a conscious company and conscious capitalism modeled unless you have a leader who's leading everyone towards that. The next tenet, so you've got higher purpose, you've got caring and conscious leaders and leadership. The next one is what I call that stakeholder versus shareholder. We believe in stakeholder integration, full orientation. We believe stakeholders are everybody involved in the business, and that includes planet Earth. And the last one, and I think it's in some ways the report card, if we did the other three right, is a conscious culture. Because if you really walk the talk and you embrace that idea of elevating humanity and the planet through business, and you're a company, your culture is going to reflect that. And everybody who works and comes in, your customers, your suppliers, your employees will know it. The culture can be felt to be a conscious culture.
There are so many market failures, and you see the results of that everywhere you look.
It's true.
And I don't think that the markets alone or conscious capitalism alone can fix it, but it's definitely a core bedrock of moving moving us forward. And so when you think about the constraints in which businesses operate, actually having as fundamental to the expectations of the business this idea of stakeholder investment and consideration that allows you to run the business in a way that you can self-constrain without any intentionality, without any kind of formalized paradigms for operating a business. You are required to try to maximize the profits, but by saying from the kind of inception or as part of some kind of declared structure that you are going to adhere to different operating models, you get to really advance this conversation in kind of meaningful ways. And so to be specific about it, when we sign up as, let's say, a public benefit corporation and register as a public benefit corporation, when we register as a B Corp certified company, there are accommodations and considerations for other stakeholders in our business in a way that helps orient the entire business to contemplate other things beyond just maximizing profit at every turn. But that intentionality is hard. You're fighting against the grain. You need other businesses to come alongside you. One of the things that we think about a lot is we actually have no desire to be some kind of luminary company. We want to be completely the norm in operating this way. Nobody's going to be helped by having one or two highlight example companies. It only makes a difference if we can inspire others to kind of come along the path. And a lot of what we think about is everybody's on this journey, everybody's leaning in different ways, everybody's thinking about supply chains, environmental considerations, employee considerations in different ways. The more we can share notes and bring each other along, the better it is for everybody. So there's also a almost like anti-competitive streak in this, which is pretty unique and exciting.
Agreed, totally. I've been in business almost 4 decades. I have been in the fashion industry for almost 4 decades. It has changed a lot. Is it there yet? No. But leaders more and more. I am seeing more leaders in my industry. Throughout the world of conscious capitalism, there are more every year. And young people, especially young companies and young startups, are embracing this. But I will say, what is needed in order for this to happen and gain momentum is we need our colleges and universities to get behind this as well. We need curriculums that offer this, reinforce it, and engage students that this is the way forward, not the way it used to be. So please, colleges and universities, please get this into your curriculum now.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think that's absolutely right. And it's encouraging to hear about the longitudinal shifts. I think more and more people understand that we don't operate in isolation. There's no such thing. We're not in a vacuum. Everything is interconnected. So it's really inconvenient to contemplate the follow-on impacts of how you run your business. It makes it a lot harder to balance so many considerations. It's actually a lot easier just to strive to be, number one, the most profitable, go for growth. So this is not the easy path, and it needs to continue to be reinforced, cultivated, supported. And so things are changing, but I wouldn't say that kind of leaders writ large are fully embracing it. This is kind of more of the cutting edge thinking. And I think people sometimes write it off as being soft. This is the hard stuff.
It's the hard stuff. Early stage startups and young people just getting started in a startup. What I would say is what I tell our clients. Just start somewhere. First and foremost, pick a place you're passionate about, a product you're passionate about, an idea you're passionate about, which ties back into your purpose-driven. If you're going to have a business and you're going to go out there and be passionate about starting it or growing in it, really think about what you're passionate about and just start moving the needle. Start talking to people, start learning, start being in the arena. The second thing I would say is please stop thinking that perfection is the only way to move forward and that you can't do anything in your new company or in your career unless you are really perfect. And I would add that perhaps as women, we have seen what happens when women think they have to be perfect before they even decide to go out for a job, and we know that's not true. So I would say start somewhere, make progress, not perfection. And the last thing is build your network, build your community. Do not be afraid. And in fact, I would encourage you to go out there, join other organizations, find other people or companies or brands that believe the way you do, and get together, because together we're a lot more powerful than any one of us alone.